Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to yet another episode of the Younib Breakfast Show with me, Peninah Wachera. I hope you guys have woken up well and are excited to face your day. I'm really excited, most of all, because you've chosen to start your day with us here at the Younib Breakfast Show on Younib TV. Yeah? As it is the norm here at the Younib Breakfast Show, let's go straight to the morning bite of the day. It is said that friends are the family we choose, yeah? And today our conversation will be about friendship. We'll be learning more about the challenges friendship come with, the good side friendship come with, and also what friendship does to our mental health, yeah? Remember that this show is proudly brought to you by Miss Your Ashan and Younib organization, and we're trying to reach out to the community to inform you on matters mental health. Remember, if you have any issue with your mental health, you can always call the number 0700-352-250 and our psychologists will be able to help you out, yeah? And if you want to interact with us or maybe share your thoughts when it comes to the conversations we have here on studio, you can always do that through our social media platform, Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719-144-144. Yeah. So I'd like just to introduce to you, or to actually welcome the guests of the day. Yeah. And this guest, I know they're just already familiar faces, and they're our psychologists here at Younib TV and also Younib organization. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you guys feeling this morning? Tuanze na wewe.
I'm feeling excited. I feel like nimekawia kidogo since I was on show.
Yeah. So you're excited to be back on screen?
Yes, I am.
Okay, how is your morning?
My morning is okay. Mimi niko salama. Just waiting to see what we have here.
Okay, what about you, B?
I'm feeling good, excited to learn pamoja with our audience today.
Yes, I'll quickly introduce them for those people who don't know them. On my right, we have Mutembei Muthami. On my nearest left, we have Valentine Ndiwa. And on my extreme left, we have Beulah Njagi. And they are psychologists. As you know, if you want any psychological help, these are the people who will be taking care of you, yeah? So you should always call the number 0700-352-250 and they will be able to help you out on matters mental health, yeah? I said today we're speaking about friendship. And a lot is said when it comes to friendship. There's the good friendship, there's the toxic friendship. All in all, friends are people who we choose and who make our life more bearable, yeah? So to start us off, what does friendship mean to you as an individual? Tuanze kwako.
Maybe I get the best pick because nimeanza wa kwanza.
Yeah.
But just as you had said, I feel like friends are the family that you choose. Meaning that sometimes the people in our lives will not always have a choice of on the matter. These are our parents, these are our brothers, our extended relatives. But when it comes to the friends, these are the people who you go out there, you actively make connections with, and then you get to gauge whether or not they align with your life's goals. And then now, if they do, you happen to keep them around. So these are the people who become your second family, your chosen family.
Okay, Valentine, what does friendship mean to you?
Wow, I like the fact that Mutembei said friends are like your chosen family. And I believe to some viewers, they are friends who are their real family. Maybe they didn't get to have the family, so they were not able to meet their first family, but the only family that they know are their friends, or these other ones are just there. And a lot of people usually struggle with that. For me, when it comes to friendship, I would say even as we are navigating life, these are people like Mutembei said, we have chosen them. Remember, we didn't choose our mom or our dad or our brother or our sister, but for our friends, they are people whom we have made that decision and chosen that this, maybe Beulah is my friend, or Mutembei is my friend, or Peninah is my friend. I have made that decision. And I can also unchoose if there is such an English word. I can decide or undecide if somebody can be my friend or not. And there are the people who bring a lot of joy, happiness, sometimes sadness in our lives, because as friends, we usually fight. And when we fight, our emotions are usually low, or sometimes we feel very sad, or sometimes they make us feel unwanted or even unloved, and they may make us feel bad about ourselves. Yeah.
Okay, Beulah, it's your time to shine.
Ooh, this is the part where I feel like saying Control C, Control V. But yeah, I think I agree with what they have said in terms of these are the people that you choose to do life with, I like to say. So they're the ones you choose how to celebrate when you're celebrating. You choose them when it's time to have a not so good time. Basically, the people that you choose to do life with, so the community that you choose to surround yourself with.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like now we all know, or we all have an idea of what friendship really means to us. Yeah. And I know whatever we have said here in studio is definitely what you might be thinking that friendship is. Yeah. And it's very important because we know that friends are the ones who we try to actually share everything with. Yeah. Aside from the families, aside from other people, our relatives and friends are very important people. And some people, even the friends, get to become close family members with the family members which we have, yeah, because it's a family that we choose. So it's important for actually everyone to have an aspect of a friend in any way, because it helps them be able to become better people. They're the ones to show them, okay, hapa kuna kashido uko nayo, yeah. If your family can tell you, at least your friends will be able to help you out, yeah. So Mutembei, how do friendships really change from childhood to adulthood?
Well, as simple as the child changes from a child into an old person, it's the same way the priorities in friendship usually also change. So you'll find that when you were very young, your friends were basically your playmates. Unajua, you're my friend simply because you play with me. You're not my friend because you don't like playing with me. So it boils down to as simple as how do you trigger me, how do you engage me in activities. Then we get to now the serious stuff about school. Now there's homework. Are you good at science? Okay, we can be friends since you help me with academics. It's a new school. Are you able to help me integrate into society? And then now later on comes marriage. Are you able to give me solid advice in regards to my dating life, my marriage, my work, my bosses? So with time, you'll find that the priorities, whatever it is that you yourself as a person desire from other people keeps on changing. And then that is also the way your friendships also manifest themselves. So that also, in as much as your friends are catering for the needs that you may be craving, you'll find that you're also showing up for people and offering the support for them in the way that you feel that they are going to show up in there, that in the way that you feel like you should show up for them. So in due time, I feel like friendships change, they come and go simply because our priorities, they either align or sometimes they misalign. As Valentine had said, sometimes we can unchoose our friends.
Yeah.
Simply because maybe at that point in time, maybe you go at a point in life where you need friends to support you financially, you need them to support with your morals, but some of the friends that you used to hang out with as children, all they want to do is go for road trips. All they want to do is go to the newest restaurant. You see that those goals are not aligning. So with time, you'll find that your friendships are going to change simply because of at whatever stage in life that you are in.
I like the fact that you've brought that friendship doesn't have to be a long life or long-term decision. It can be seasonal depending on whether it's the right time for it to flourish. Yeah. So most people out here, we try to keep friendship to the extent, okay, so because you are my friend when you are a child, I still want you to be my best friend even to when I'm an adult. I like the fact that you've said it's not a must. Sometimes it may change because of our expectations and our experiences in life. Yeah. So Valentine, we are in a place nowadays. Internet, social media has been quite something that most of us keep on doing. Utapata wase akona followers in TikTok, akona subscribers for YouTube, and these people also they term to as friends. Yeah. So would you term online friendship as a meaningful as meaningful friendship as per an in-person, yani one-on-one friendship?
Okay, that question is very, I would say, diverse, because there are people who, even in our Facebook or our Instagram or even our TikTok, these social media pages that we use, there are those people that we have that are our true friends, real friends. Like, we have a connection, we know them personally. But there are those people whom we don't have interaction with at all. So sometimes these people whom we don't have interaction at all, they may become our friends if they gain deeper interest in our life. There are people who have become good friends because of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or this other thing.
Yeah.
So the social media accounts or the social media itself, it can bring friendship to ourselves. At the same time, it can give us, should I call it like something like a mirage, something that is not very, very clear to us. Because sometimes tunaweza kajidanganya that we have many friends. Like, I think on my Facebook I have roughly close to 2,000 friends. But now when I have maybe an issue, do I even think that I have friends on Facebook whom I can go and maybe share the challenges that I'm struggling with in my life? That's not, it's not the case. So sometimes it can give us that false perception that there are really many people following us. And then sometimes when we post, we usually want to see likes comparable to the number of friends that we have. And that is not the case most of the time. And even us as the teenagers, even as the youths, sometimes you look at the number of people that you have, not necessarily on our social media, even our contact, our phone book. Unapatanga uko na watu wengi, but time yenye shida iko, I would say many are acquaintances and not friends. An acquaintance is just somebody you know. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I hope you're following up on this conversation and you're getting to understand what friendship is all about. Yeah, we've been told that there's a seasonal friendship. Yeah, so my question for today, and I'd like to hear from you guys, is what made that friendship that you thought will be long while come to an end? Please let us know through our social media platforms, and we'll be back with more. Welcome back. This is still the Younib Breakfast Show, and today we are talking about friendship. Yeah, I'll just sample quickly your responses. Yeah, my best friend of 10 years ghosted me out of nowhere. I still don't know why. I'll sample another one. We just grew apart. No drama, no fights, just life taking us in different directions. Someone else says, we had a huge misunderstanding, but looking back, I wish we had talked it out instead of cutting each other off. I'll read another one. Our friendship ended when we became roommates. Living together ruined everything. I'll sample the last one. We fought over a borrowed dress that was never returned. That was the end of an era. Thank you so much for your feedback when it comes to friendship. And we see, I think also the aspect of having seasonal friends. Like there's a reason why having a reason or a friend is just going just without any reason, yeah, imeenda tu juu imefade, because you can't just force friendship, yeah. So I'd like us to come back to the conversation about friendship. And Beulah, kindly tell us, what are some of the red flags that someone can see in a friendship and say, iwacha tu ikae, iishe tu, hakuna haja iendelee.
Okay, that's a good question to ask yourself.
Yeah.
Both as a friend and as a person with friends,
Yeah.
right? So one, when we find that there is disrespect, right? So you and I are friends and you do something today and I tell you, wow, pesh, apple, hey, akusirudie tena, because where you have touches on many other things. So now when you have that knowledge that whatever you have done affected me negatively, and you go ahead and do it again and do it again and do it again, it becomes a red flag, because then where is the care, where is the concern, where is the respect for boundaries that I have set? There's, the audience member who said a borrowed dress,
Yeah.
and it may look like maybe it's something small or something we shouldn't fight about.
Yeah.
But what if the boundaries are ask me for my things, or when you ask for my things and when I give them to you, give them back? So where someone begins to infringe on your boundaries, or you begin to infringe on someone else's boundaries, it becomes a red flag. Sometimes there's also cases, and I think you hear this a lot with young people. Nilienda out na Valentine, jana akaniacha. And I'm always like, what do you mean? What do you mean that is your friend?
Yeah.
So if your friend is willing to leave you in a situation that might be dangerous for you, or put you in that situation, connect you with people that they know are sketchy or that are not safe, and then leave you in that space. So if they do not show that care or concern for your well-being, that is a red flag. Sometimes you also have friends that are being so competitive. So it's like, it starts to feel like kuna ka competition ama kuna ka jealousy. I came on, I saw Pesh with red lipstick today. Kesho she must see, So it almost begins to look like I am in your life to see what you're about, and then I go and do it and try and, one up you. So when there's that competitiveness whereby I can't even feel like you're celebrating my wins because you're just trying to also make them your wins, it becomes a red flag. I don't know if maybe Mutembei, maybe Valentine would like to add some more.
Okay, I think you talked about respect. There is that aspect of distrust. The fact that you said maybe if you go out with me and then nikuache unaona. So it means hautani trust tena kwa sababu next time kama unataka kwenda outing, you not want to go with Valentine because she's the kind of person who would leave you. And I'm not saying I do that.
She does not. She has not left me.
I'm not saying I do that. I'm just using myself as an example to help somebody understand something out there. So that means that there is that aspect of distrust. And then also when we talk about honesty, is this person honest towards you? Or if this is a kind of person who keeps on lying each and every day, they are lying, they are telling you different things. Jana uliniambia au kukuja juu ya job, then later I come to find out that you did not come, maybe because you are going to visit your other friend, and the reason why I was calling you was very, very important. So you find that there is that aspect of this friend has started becoming dishonest towards you. So that shows that if you are dishonest towards me, it shows that you don't respect me. And then the other aspect would be like we are not agreeing in anything. So we cannot be friends if we can't agree. agreement or our goals, like the Mutembei said that we have to be moving towards the same direction. If these things are lacking, it means that we can't go anywhere. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I hope you are taking notes when it comes to this conversation. And the next question is all about conflicts handling. You know, this is an aspect where many friendships have come to an end because of how we handle conflict. Sometimes you may find it's just something little that could just need you guys to sit down, explain yourselves, get to understand what were you thinking when you were telling me this, and what was I thinking, and what made the conflict happen when it comes to whatever we were conflicting about. But most times people don't want to hear. You get one friend akisema, mi nimeachana naye, this person is always telling me this, maybe it's the truth, but you don't want to be told the truth in that manner. Yeah. So how can friends handle conflicts?
That's interesting. It ties to what I would have added towards the red flags in a relationship, in a friendship. I would first say things is communication. The first thing is communication, not just about the conflict itself, but also about the conflict in your life. Because once, let's say, for example, Beulah and I, we are friends, right?
Yeah.
But Beulah has a disagreement with Valentine, and then she keeps it to herself. I will think everything is going on with Beulah in her life, right? Which means, in my opinion, she shows up to my life as somebody who's very peaceful, very calm, very collected, simply because she does not talk about like the conflicts that she's going or she's battling in her own life. Which means mimi kama rafiki yake sijui how ye huwa ana handle conflict aje. So sometimes you find that we've been friends for such a long time, we've never talked about the ugly sides of life, the ugly aspects of friendship, and then tunakosana, you blow up, I blow up simply because we don't know, hatujui what kind of person are you in terms of adversity, in terms of conflict. So I feel like the first things first is for you to always be open, be receptive to feedback from your friends in regards to conflict. Do you just dance around the issue, or do you just simply joke about it ikienda, and then now when emotions are running high, now that's when your authentic self comes to play. So my takeaway would be communicate about not just the conflict that is happening, talk about other aspects of your life, other situations in your life where you feel that you are not treated well, where you feel like you did not treat somebody better, and then maybe incorporate your friends into the learning circle. Because now once your friends are aware of what kind of person you show up with in terms of a conflict, watajua huyu ni wa kupanda juu, so yeye nikimkosea apande juu, mimi natulia chini. If you know that rafiki yako ni wa kutulia chini, wewe pia usipande juu to the point where unafanya skini kama amekukosea, hamtai sort it out moving forward. So I would say it's all about paying attention to the very small details, you know. Jua rafiki yako yeye ni mtu aina gani, si ati siku moja anakulipukia unasema mimi nimeachana na yeye, mimi hatutai sort hiyo maneno, aliniita hii maneno ama maneno, na wewe mwenyewe, you and your friends, you've been doing the same.
I hope we are taking notes, and when it comes to this, I know many people have a lot of stories when it comes to conflicts, friendships that ended up with conflicts. Just a little conflict, maybe some of them will just remember, well, nimfanyia hivi nikiwa mdogo, and that is how now you remember that and you say, Andy, by the way, we are done. But I hope we can be able to work ourselves, as Mutembei has told us, so that we can make the friendship more better off. Because the more you communicate, the better the friendship becomes, yeah? So I want us to take this short break, continue answering the question that I asked in the first segment, and we'll be back with more conversation. Welcome back. This is still the Younib Breakfast Show. Remember to interact with us through our social media platform, Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719-144-144. Remember that this show is proudly brought to you by Miss Yo Ashan and Younib Organization, and we're trying to reach out to the community to teach you on matters mental health. So if you need any psychological help, book a session with our psychologist through the number 0700-352-250, and they will be able to help you out. Yeah. So coming back to the conversation, Valentine, how does having good friends really impact our mental health and also personal growth?
Wow, it's a very good question, because you've talked about having good friends, and the other time we were talking about how to know that your friend is toxic. So if you have good friends, it means that even when you'll be walking around with other people, always you will feel good, you will feel happy, you will feel appreciated, you will feel loved, you will feel wanted, and this will make you to be a happy and even responsible person in the society, and even when it comes to yourself. So having good friendship is really, really important for our mental health, because it will even help us to make good decisions in our life. And I'll give an example of, you have a good friend. Maybe, okay, let me use an example of marriage. I don't know why it keeps on coming in my mind. And the other time, I remember when we answered a question.
Yeah.
It was just about
Marriage.
So, if maybe you want to get married and you have friends, your friends are the people whom you ask, how do you see my partner? Because if you are in friendship, I believe that probably you've introduced your partner to, this person is not your partner, but is your partner to be. You have introduced your partner to be to your friends. So maybe your friends will be able to tell you, maybe you need to look out. He or she gets angry very fast, or he seems like a good person, or he seems like a bad person. Your friends will be able to tell you that do this or don't do this, not because they are envious of you, but because they love you and they want the best for you. In this context, we are talking about good friends. So friends who are good will help you make better decisions in your life. And if you make better decisions in your life, your psychological well-being will be in a good place. Yeah.
Awesome. I like that. So it's good for you to find good friends. Yeah. Having good friends who will help you through is very, very important. Yeah. I remember seeing mostly on the internet, social media, the people who always, who are posting. It's so important. People speak about childhood friends, but they don't talk about adulthood friends who you made when you're in your adulthood. Yeah. And some people will always say that, hey man, it's so hard to make friends when I'm an adult. So my next question, Beulah, goes to you, and it's all about what is the best way to make friendship when you're still in your adulthood?
Right. That's a good question. I think it's true. A lot of people do struggle with that.
Yeah.
I think I would emphasize on something that we've talked about in a number of shows, which is being open. You find friends sometimes randomly because you connect on a certain thing of interest. So if, for example, you're interested in sports, or you're interested in arts, or you're interested in literature or research, or whatever it could be, get yourself into those spaces, because that's where you'll find people like you,
Yeah.
who are interested in what you're interested in. So number one is just be open to explore, to take yourself out to places where you feel like, if I want a friend, I would like them to be of this certain vibe. Go to where that certain vibe is. Yeah. I think I'd also say, on top of being open and exploring as many spaces, it would also be learning to come out of your shell, because sometimes we might be here and I'm like, Mutembei looks so cool, but I can't say hi. And Mutembei may also be thinking, she looks so cool, but I can't say hi.
Yeah.
So we may both end up going home and going to tell our childhood friend, I met someone who looked so cool, but I couldn't say hi.
Yeah.
So as much as you're being open to being in those spaces, also try and come out of your shell kidogo. Hata kumeza ukisema hi, I like your shirt, I like your shoes, and trying to find, places of interest to begin with. And I think sometimes also in adulthood, we forget to slow down a bit. We sometimes go in with the expectation that it needs to be intense right off the bat. Sometimes it's what we've seen in the movies or in series where people click and all of a sudden they're sharing all their traumas and everything.
Yeah.
And you might have the expectation for, I will meet Pesh at once and feel like I can tell her everything. Sometimes it's not like that.
Yeah.
It's we connect over what we met on, and then we agree, okay, let's go for coffee, and then we go for another hangout, and slowly we both begin to open up. So I'd just emphasize on opening up and getting comfortable with being a little uncomfortable with coming out of your shell kidogo too. Yeah.
I think maybe to just add or summarize is just say, if you want to make a friend, you have to be a friend, you yourself. So you can't say, I want to make a friend, and you yourself, you don't want to be a friend. So it always starts with you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's important. Being intentional of being a friend to your friend.
Yes.
And okay, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So as we wrap up, I have some fast questions for you guys. Fun questions. Kila mtu ako na yake. And let's take the minimal time because time is not on our side. Director ananiambia time. Okay. So we start with you, Mutembei. What's a friendship lesson you learned the hard way?
A friendship lesson I learned the hard way. Money. So simply just because somebody is your friend doesn't mean that their money is your money and your money is their money.
Oh, okay. Interesting. That's a good one. Okay. Valentine, if you could describe your friendship style in 3 words, what would they be?
I would say the friendship style.
Yes.
I think it's more of partnership. Yeah.
In 3 words. Okay.
3 words. Like 3 words.
You can say maybe partnership, another thing, and another thing. Yeah.
Okay. So it's more of partnership, it's more of companionship, and it's more of happy feelings.
Okay, awesome. Okay, interesting. Beulah, next question goes to you. Unakaa nika uko na anxiety. Okay, so because of time, what's the craziest thing you've done with a friend?
Wow. Craziest thing I have done with a friend. We decided to pull pranks on random people in a lift.
Oh, wow.
I shall not answer more.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for coming and helping us be able to dissect mostly the conversation on friendship. I hope we've gotten to learn more when it comes to friendship. Let's be intentional friends, yeah? If we want to have good friends, let's be more intentional. Let's treat our friends how we want to be treated. Thank you to everyone who has made this show a success. Thank you, Elias, for being the camera person and also our director. Thank you, Rose Chege, for being our floor manager. Until next time, do have yourselves a beautiful day. And today, go telling your friends, thank you for being in your life. I feel like sometimes we may forget to appreciate them for being part and parcel of our life. So today, go telling them, am I right? Just a beautiful message to your friends, thanking them for being there for you. Sawa sawa. Until next time, do have yourselves a beautiful day ahead. Goodbye.